Hello friends, how are you doing? I've never said hello friends before and I feel a bit weird after that. But anyways, how are you all doing today? I hope you're doing fantastic. And today we're going to be talking about a topic which was relevant around a month ago because, you know, we seem to do that quite a lot on this channel, and that is the mind of Jake Paul. Now this series is obviously done, it's over and it's finished, and honestly I didn't really think I would need to speak about it after it was finished with. But then I saw a question which was pretty much circulating social media of did Jake Paul manipulate Shane Dawson? And you know, I really didn't think much of this question because honestly, I was done with the topic. I really didn't want to speak about it because I thought there was nothing really left to say until I watched a few videos, I did a little bit of research, and then I stumbled upon a tragedy. Makes me upset to talk about this. It does, because I found out that my favourite E-couple, Erica Costello and Jake Paul, actually broke up. And it is hard to talk about for me. This is hard to talk about. And I know we've got a lot of Jake Paulers and we've got a few Erica Costellas in this community, so I know a few of you will be upset, but I am gonna ask you to hold your tears until the end of the video. Now basically the other day, Jake Paul posted a tweet explaining that him and Erica Costello were no longer dating, and in fact they hadn't been dating for quite a while now. And I'm gonna make a wild guess and pretty much say that they probably broke up around a month ago because The Mind of Jake Paul was filmed with Erica and with Jake, and it was solely based pretty much on their relationship and how Erica had changed Jake as a person. And honestly, when I saw this post from Jake, I began to think to myself, well, that's a little bit fishy because, as I said, the series was pretty much based on this love story about Erica and Jake's evolution of a person. It pretty much portrayed their relationship as fantastic or perfect. So it's very fishy to see that they broke up on the same month of the last episode of The Mind of Jake Paul coming up. I don't know if I'm being a conspiracy theorist here, but I find that incredibly fishy. And I fully understand that The Mind of Jake Paul was recorded around 2 to 3 months ago, but if they really did break up during the period of recording, then surely there would have been some changes made in the edit or something would have been mentioned, but there was really nothing until Jake's post other than a few rumours that the relationship itself was fake. And this is exactly what made me go back and look at the question of did Jake Paul manipulate Shane Dawson, and did he manipulate the truth? Because the whole idea of Jake changing because of Erica is genuinely a really nice story. It's pretty much a love story, and it allowed a lot of people in the internet to see that Jake Paul is in fact a human being. And I know that might sound a little bit crazy, but some people were asking the question of, is Jake Paul pretty much a fucking Cyberman? Because it did appear up until a few months ago that the guy really didn't care about anyone other than himself. So having this Anakin Skywalker Padme love story going on would genuinely really benefit Jake Paul, because it would mean that he definitely can be perceived as a human being, and a lot of people can now emphasize with the guy, because let's be honest people, everyone loves a redemption and everyone loves a love story, but in fact, in my mind, Jake went from Anakin to Darth Vader. I really hope people are going to understand the references I'm making here, because if they don't, I am going to sound a little bit weird. Now, not only was it fishy that Jake and Erica broke up on the same month of the last episode of The Mind of Jake Paul, but also a few months back, Jake was in fact exposed by an Instagram model. And don't get me wrong, this is old news, but it really does correlate with what we're talking about today, so I'm now just going to explain it. Basically, some DMs got exposed of Jake trying to fly out an Instagram model to where he lives for some unknown reason. And then Jake even ended up blocking this girl, and I guess that was in a hope that she couldn't get access to their messages, but then she uploaded a video scrolling through all of her messages, and there were plenty, and you can pretty much take from this that Jake Paul is pretty much a seedy old bastard, and it really looks even worse in the context of what we're talking about today. Because once again, a lot of people are talking about Jake and Erica's relationship maybe not being what they portrayed it to be, or in general, just not being real at all.
A lot of people think you guys are fake. But I've heard from, you know, sources.
Your sources.
People that actually know you guys. It's actually real.
Yeah.
So, does that piss you off? And does it make you angry because you're like, I'm actually fucking real?
No, it doesn't piss me off because we know.
Yeah.
And that's all that like really matters. And it used to be like, it started as fake. I don't think it was ever fake, but we got married like the first day I joined YouTube. So obviously people are gonna like
Yeah.
have that.
Now, honestly, I'm not going to be a YouTube conspiracy theorist here, and I'm going to say I do believe that Jake and Erica's relationship was real, but I do think the truth has been manipulated. Because as I said before, these two are a nice story and it will help convince a YouTube audience that Jake is actually changing. And no shade at all, but Shane is definitely very good at telling stories in his videos. That's pretty much what he's renowned for. And the story was that Erica is this shining light that is changing Jake's life. And the reason I don't personally take any shade with Shane in this is purely because he was doing this series to find out the truth, and Jake said the truth was that his relationship was fantastic, when in reality, he was being very, very seedy with a lot of Instagram girls. And this was pretty much confirmed in the same series by Alyssa Violet, as she said Jake Paul pretty much lures in girls using the influence of Team 10 and then sleeps with them.
Instagram models that he'd come over and be like, hey, like, we're scouting right now for Team 10, how about you come over, we'll see if you're a fit. They come over, them, they leave, and like they're never a part of Team 10.
Now, from my personal perspective, this is bad for two specific reasons, and the first reason being that this is just a complete abuse of power. Jake is a millionaire, he owns a team of YouTubers, he has a massive house, a massive platform, and he is using that power and influence to sleep with other girls. Jake is basically promising further success in exchange for sex and then dropping them, and we have proof of that from the previous Instagram model's DMs. And now obviously abusing your power and influence is a terrible thing to do, and we will get onto that in a second, but I just want to talk about the second reason to why this is bad, and that is pretty much Jake isn't loyal. Jake is a cheater, and in my eyes, if you're a cheater, you are just a bad person. You're a complete and utter bellend. I do not like cheaters, and coming into Shane's documentary, I already fully acknowledged that Jake was a bad person, but then I saw his relationship with Erica and saw what he was like behind the camera, and he did seem to be changing, but then they so conveniently broke up after the series ended. And people abusing their power and influence is becoming an increasing issue in Hollywood, but now in YouTube. It seems on a week-to-week basis, another YouTuber gets exposed for basically being seedy with an Instagram model whilst in a relationship. I think if you're doing that shit and you are a YouTuber watching this now, you need to stop, because you're a bad person and it doesn't look good on yourself, and in general it's going to hurt a lot of people and it's going to hurt your fans because they're going to find out you're really not who you present yourself to be. You're just a complete and utter bellend. I hate cheaters and I hate people that abuse their power. We've seen it in more serious cases with people such as Harvey Weinstein, and I'm not saying Jake Paul is like Harvey Weinstein, but again, it is an abuse of power, and these things do need to be spoken about and do need to be stopped. I mean, I thought the Minecraft or commentary community was bad, but it does appear that Jake Paul pretty much wants a slice of this cake, and it's not nice to see. And now, moving away from this form of Jake's manipulation, we move on to the lies of Jake Paul. Now, this is Nerd City. He's a content creator who I'm personally friends with, and I genuinely really do enjoy his content, and as do a lot of other people. And Nerd City basically uploaded a 17-minute long video explaining the lies Jake made about him and made about everything else in the series The Mind of Jake Paul. And I'm not going to play every single clip in this video from Nerd City. You can just go and watch the video yourself. The link will be in the description, but I am now going to break down some of the points made in this video. Now, recently, Jake was pretty much exposed by the same content creator, Nerd City, and spoken about by a lot of other creators such as H3H3 for pretty much using hypnotic techniques to get his young and impressionable fans to buy his merchandise. And now you may already be aware to this by where Jake pretty much says buy my merch every single minute in his videos, and he uses techniques which really go underlying until Nerd City and even H3H3 brought this up. And now, honestly, I believe that this critique of Jake is valid. It's something that really does need to be spoken about, and clearly a lot of people after Nerd City's video have taken issue with it, and even Shane questioned him on Nerd City's video, and Jake, in good old Jake Paul fashion, responded like this.
So people basically think that you're manipulating young people, kids watching, to spend their money on you, to buy your merch.
All right, Ben, we need to sell some merch, you know? You're cute, so they'll buy the merch if you wear it. I'm gonna need you to put this on and go in front of the camera, okay?
So I'm curious, like, what your reaction is when people say that's, like, crazy.
I honestly think it's fucking stupid that people think that's manipulative. Yeah, I mean, I don't see a problem with it at all. Like, just because my fans are younger, does that mean I'm manipulating them? Like,
Merch link in bio. We got some hot new merch.
My merch has come.
I don't think a kid would actually believe that and be like, wow, I'm not cool if I don't have this, and like, hey mom, like, I need this to be cool, will you buy this for me?
And now obviously this response is as bad as you thought it would be, and Nad City did come out and expose Jake, because Jake had actually spoken at previous events a few years ago explaining how to get kids to buy your merchandise.
Jake, if you didn't believe that, then why did you speak at a conference just a few months ago to brag about having that power over your fans? Here's how you fuzzed over that event in your vlog.
Woke up this morning and had to do like a big speech at this business event. It went pretty good. Check it. Hold on. Be right there.
But what was it really? That was a conference, according to their own press release, where one of the major goals was educating brands on how to get kids to buy things using social influencers. The name of the panel you led was Influencing the Buy, tapping into the power of social influencers.
The internet has given rise to a vast group of stars that have a massive impact on the
Purchasing decisions of younger generations.
So as you can see from this clip, Jake pretty much has full acknowledgement of what he's doing and what he's talking about. The guy knows the skills of how to manipulate your audience and how to get them to buy your merchandise and buy your products. It's a key marketing technique which Jake has pretty much mastered, and it's hilarious to see him deny that he had any acknowledgement of this. And now again, I highly recommend going to watch this video from Nerd City. I'm not going to show every point he makes in it, so the link is in the description. And now going back to what we were talking about, Jake then went on to say that the people calling him out on this stuff, i.e. H3H3 and Nerd City, are pretty much just haters, as Jake says about pretty much anyone that critiques him. And then Shane thankfully shut him down about this and said he needs to get somebody to monitor his videos and see what he says on them and see if they're just in general acceptable to publish on YouTube.
The only advice I'd give on that is, like, I think going forward, you might need to have somebody that you hire or somebody around you to be like, hey, no, that's gonna get twisted, don't post that. Or hey, let's not really shoot that music video, that's a little too far. Because that's what they have on TV. They have standards of practice, they have that kind of stuff. On YouTube, you don't. So that will save you from a lot of shit, because we've seen before on YouTube, like, we wish there would have been somebody around saying, you can't post that, if you know what I'm saying. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's definitely useful. I think it's hard to be like, I mean, I'd rather just have like you do it.
Now don't get me wrong people, I don't want Jake Paul to censor himself. I'm a big advocate of freedom of speech, and I definitely don't want to see Jake Paul become another generic family-friendly vlogger. But you can still have fun and say what you want to say in your videos without using Jedi mind tricks to get your young fans to buy your merchandise. And when he agreed with Shane, honestly, it was a breath of fresh air, and I was actually taken back and surprised by this. Now a month on after this series had ended, I did think to myself, well, has Jake Paul actually changed? Has he stopped doing pretty much these mind tricks to get his young impressionable fans to buy his merch? And I was pleasantly surprised to find out that in Jake's latest video upon recording, he actually brought up his merch 9 times in a 9-minute long video. And now I'm gonna play these clips, but I'm going to have to speed them up because pretty much him advertising his merch is 50% of this video.
The reason we are vlogging today is because the new RNBO merch just came out. ShopRNBO.com. This is like the dopest clothing brand that there is, guys! Now I decided to turn it into the official RNBO truck. RNBO is my new clothing brand. The new drop just came out. It's the most fire. We got sweatshirts, we got t-shirts, and there's only an exclusive amount of items. I think only like 500, so you guys have to hurry. You only have 72 hours to join the RNBO fam. You better rise and be original. Look, yo, we have a store, okay? We have an RNBO store. ShopRNBO.com. Damn it! That deserves another shot. This is the yellow drop, guys. That's what I'm saying. Like, when we have this RNBO merch, it sells out right away, and then you can never get it again.
Like, low-key, that's my favorite. I don't even have one, bro.
Guys, if you order the Shop RNBO merch right now, I will actually personally deliver it to your door and shoot you in the face with this merch gun. That's a verifiable fact.
Put the RNBO merch on, bro.
Look, I just got 20 times more, right?
That's what I'm saying with that RNBO merch.
Oh, it's already all sold out, so you guys gotta hurry and go to shoprnbo.com right now and get it before all your sizes run out. RNBO! Go to shoprnbo.com! Legitness! ShopRNBO.com.
I love you. Go to shoprnbo.com before all of the units sell out.
Oh!
Ooh, baby, you already know it is the hottest merch in the game.
Jake, I think we all get it. I think we all get to buy Jake Paul merchandise. Now, I'm not going to go and do that, but you can clearly see that this shit is genuinely hypnotic. I mean, if I was a little kid and I was seeing my favorite YouTubers say buy my merch about 50% of their video, there's a good chance I'm going to pester my parents to buy their merchandise. Now, don't get me wrong, people. I'm not saying you cannot advertise your merchandise or products because that would be absurd. A lot of my friends do that and I'm going to end up doing that personally. But what I am saying is that it's a little bit fishy when you've been exposed for being at conferences explaining how to manipulate your audiences into buying products and buying merchandise.
Kind of like saw the value in influencers and like how much power we had, and like
I realized with this much power, why don't I create and own the pie instead of promoting someone else's pie?
Those clips from your fundraising days are several years old, which means that you've understood influencer marketing for several years now, and before most people did.
today I'm going to be talking about how to grow your business using influencers. Now, a lot of influencers don't necessarily understand equity and the value of advisory shares in the long run.
Now, from Jake's wording in this clip, you can clearly see that he does have a further understanding of business and even possibly economics. He has a clear knowledge of what he is doing, and that is exactly why I think he is manipulating Shane Dawson by playing this character, this innocent character who really just doesn't know what he's doing, and he's really got that into Shane's head clearly.
I don't know if you know what's right or wrong with a lot of things, and I think you are kind of emotionally and in other ways stunted as a kid.
Jake has painted his own self out to be this idiot who really just doesn't know what he's doing. He's pretending that he doesn't know marketing and business schemes to sell products, when in reality, he has now been exposed for speaking at these big events, explaining how to actually do these things. Now, in my opinion, if you were to watch this series and not watch any other videos about it or not read about it at all, you could definitely come to the conclusion that Jake Paul is a very impulsive person, when a matter of fact, he is actually a very smart businessman who knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly how to manipulate people, which he's clearly done with his young audience, and he's clearly doing with Shane Dawson. And it's not like this is the only lie Jake has made in this series. He also made this false claim.
Wait, what's Jake Paul 2?
I had a second account. When Chance left Team 10, he like stole their account. Because Chance and Anthony had an account together, and like Chance left Team 10 and like switched the passwords and like stole the account. Anthony was like left without like anything, and so I just gave him my second account.
Now, this is obviously a very serious accusation, and when I first saw this, I did think to myself, well, if he stole somebody's account, stole somebody's business, why did he not pursue legal repercussions on Chance? Well, actually, it turned out he was lying all about this after Chance came out with this tweet. In this tweet, Chance basically explains the lies of Jake Paul just as Nerd City did, and it's clear that Jake Paul is either an impulsive liar or just an extremely smart businessman, or just a mix of both. Jake has now been exposed for pretty much playing mind games with his audience, lying, manipulating, abusing his power in order to sleep with random Instagram models. And he has also manipulated Shane and Shane's audience and myself by pretty much playing dumb about the whole merchandise mind games thing by calling people like Nerd City and H3H3 haters. Now, to end this video, I would love to know your guys' opinions on this situation. Do you believe that Shane was manipulated? Do you believe that everyone was manipulated by Jake Paul? Do you believe that Erica Costell and Jake Paul is not even a real thing? Let me know in the comment section, but you can also let me know your thoughts at Instagram. Instagram is the best place to send me your questions when I do a Q&A on my story pretty much every single day, but you can also let me know your thoughts at Twitter at iNabber TV. And before I end the video, I am going to thank my Patreons. Big thanks to Angelique, Arista, Isia, Anna, Alex, Bones, Brianna, Bugabadger, Clarissa, Cubes and Dinky Dino, Dana, L, Ella, Evelyn, Henry, Hannah, Inochi, Jay, Jessica, Joe, Jillian, Jordan, Joanna, Lisa, Majestic, Michaela, Maya, Mary, Mal, Meredith, Michelle, Michael, Neve, Nicole, Olivia, Aurelie, Quinn, Ramita, Rockstar, Rooster Bros, Riley, Sadie, Sandra, Scrubby, Citizen, Speedybird, Tails Hunter, Tonji, Christian, Zerofiles, In My Shoes. That is getting a right mouthful, but thank you so much for pledging to the Patreon. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like the video. Let's try and shoot for, I'd say, 5,000 likes. If we can get it to 5,000 likes, that would be fantastic. That is the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.